In this video, we're getting into the very basics of geometry. The easiest way to define geometry is the study of points, lines, and planes. So we need to know what are those three things. First off, a point is simply a location. It has no physical or measurable qualities, meaning we're never going to compare how big or small or how much area or volume a point has. It doesn't have any of those things. The way that we name all of these things is very important as well. We're going to name all kinds of things throughout the year. And so for a point, we're just going to use a capital letter. Typically, there will be a little dot next to it if we're looking at a diagram, or if you just want to refer to a point in a sentence or something that you're writing, you can just use a capital letter. For a line, what we're going to do is join a whole bunch of points together. We call this a set. A set is any time you have a collection of things. So a line is a set of points extending indefinitely, meaning goes on forever, in opposite directions. The way that we have to name a line, we're going to pick any 2 points on our line. We call that collinear. Anytime multiple points are on the same line, we say that those points are collinear. So supposing I have a line that has points C and D, I can use those 2 points, C and D, and I'm going to put this line symbol above both of them. And I need to include those arrows going in opposite directions. Otherwise, I'm not talking about a line. Could be talking about something else. The last basic fundamental thing in geometry is a plane. A plane is just a set of points extending indefinitely in all directions so that you're creating a flat surface. So you can think of the top of a table or a TV screen or a countertop or a door, a window. All of those things are portions of a plane. The way that we name planes, we pick any 3 points, just as long as those 3 points are not on the same line. In other words, we look at 3 non-collinear points, and we just group those together. So hypothetically, let's say that I'm looking at a plane that contains points B, A, and D. We can just say BAD. Typically, we're going to put the word plane in front, but it's kind of understood when there's nothing in front. The context tells us that this is a plane containing 3 non-collinear points B, A, and D. If I have a line with multiple points, there are many ways that I can name that line. So in this specific example here, I have this line with points C, A, and R. So we know to name a line, we use any 2 points and that line symbol. So we could name this line CA with that line symbol above. Now the order doesn't matter, doesn't have to go in alphabetical order. It could have been AC. You also could have named this line AR, or for that matter, RA, keeping in mind that every time we name that line, we include those arrows going in opposite directions. Likewise, we could have named this CR, because C and R are collinear points. Or we could have said RC. And from time to time, your book does this, you might see these italicized letters kind of off to the side of your line. Like here, I have this italicized L. I could just call this thing line L. I would rarely do that, but it does happen from time to time, so I just want you to be aware of that, so when you're looking at problems in your book, you know what they're talking about. That wraps up the fundamentals of geometry, points, lines, and planes.